Hey Dana, what is you're the director of all the public appointed attorneys in the state of West Virginia, right?
Not technically correct. I am the director of the agency that's responsible for the payment of the fees of court-appointed counsel, but that generally remains within the circuit court's responsibility.
Okay, should people be getting paid who are plotting to steal your medical records, plotting to put you away for life, who you wrote letters, you fired them, do not want them near you? Should they be getting paid? I didn't even meet with that bitch a day in my life, and she said that she wanted a mental evaluation on me, which I refused to do it. Doctors cannot, or judges can't take a defendant or a plaintiff and slam their head on the table and say, you're getting a heart surgery right now, you're getting lung cancer, you're getting chemotherapy right now, I said so. They can't force you in to a mental evaluation. You know, this shit needs to come to an end. You're out there paying these people who are plotting to steal my medical records. Is that not considered aiding and abetting conspiracy to commit?
Actually, a judge can order an evaluation. Now, whether you cooperate or not is a different issue, but they can actually order it.
Yeah, so a judge can slam a person. Can a judge order, in the uncivil state of West Virginia, can a judge order a heart surgery from a person that doesn't want it? Can a judge order chemotherapy?
But the reason is there's different reasons. The reason for the evaluation is to determine whether they can actually proceed to even prosecute you.
And what evidence do they have? You know, this is proceed. Where's the evidence at? They have released no evidence in this case, but in the communist state of West Virginia, we are allowing this erratic behavior out of judicial people practicing what is called political abusive psychiatry that the Soviet Union did in the 1960s. You're damn right I have a disease. It's called sluggish psychosis, which means that I want my civil rights. It's what the Soviet Union's diagnosed their people with that wanted their civil rights, put them in a camp and killed them. It's what they're doing in the state of West Virginia right now to innocent people. Political abusive psychiatry.
Who's the judge?
Her name is Carrie Webster, who needs to carry a Webster Law Dictionary in her pocket.
Okay, I know Carrie. All right.
She is a despicable, demonic, satanistic person in there talking about what she knows is she is doing is wrong, and then planning on stealing medical records illegally, knowing that she would be in violation of HIPAA law. And you're out there paying these kind of humans in the state of West Virginia to work. Is that correct in front of my American people watching right now? You're issuing paychecks.
I am not issuing paychecks to Barbra Brown, but I'm funding the corporation for which she works to operate. So
you're not corporation, get it right. Get that word right. You're funding the colony.
No, the corporation.
It's a colony. You're going against the American people. You know, you're violating the rights of the American people.
You know, the evaluation is done. If they determine that you're not competent to stand trial, then you would not stand trial. Now, you only
did the United States of America Federal Military Administrative Judge make me go through any of this shit to get my license to steer multi-billion-dollar ships? Fuck no is the answer. Fuck no. It's discriminatory West Virginia who knows they were caught red-handed stealing millions of dollars a year in Medicaid fraud. Millions of dollars a month off people, sacrificing their life, sacrificing civil rights of the United States of America, using this political abusive psychiatry, sending perpetrators into the Holocaust camp of West Virginia, where they violate the civil rights of people. And the state attorney general's wife sells dope to that facility right there, and he profits money off of it in this big ring of corruption. So are you going to issue Barbra Brown paychecks? You're the director of it. You said you were the director of the pay stuff and all. I don't want her as my attorney. I don't want her near me. I wrote the courthouse letters on that, and you're authorizing her to take money where she's doing nothing but harming citizens, harming her clients.
She is not a private attorney taking court appointments, so we do not pay her directly. We fund the corporation for which she works.
Okay,
So
why are
I
you
have no
funding
real
her
control over that.
corporation when I don't want her as an attorney? I fired her and she still showed up. Why are you illegally writing her checks as a public appointed attorney? She is not wanted. She is not needed. She is harming me, the defendant. She's not standing up for me.
Well, that may be true for you. That is not true for probably the other 100 that she represents on a regular basis.
Oh,
so.
there you go, America. You heard that. Segregation, discrimination towards the one and the only suing West Virginia double time, federal and Supreme Court.
No, Zach, it's simpler than that. Sometimes people don't get along, and you and she don't
Well,
get
when you
along.
walk up to some bitch you've never seen a day in your life, talk to a day in your life, and she's like, you need a competency evaluation. I need to see if you're right. Yo, bitch, how many houses have you owned? How much money have you made compared to what I made in the amount of time I made? What's your biggest stock market trade? Stuff like that. Period is the answer of competency. Not her ignorance working with the state of West Virginia. You illegally paying her. You should not be paying her nothing. I did not want her. I refused to see her. I told her to get away from me. Should I get a restraining order on my own attorney?
Unlike me, she hasn't spoken to you for an extended period of time.
She still showed up at that hearing after I fired her, after I wrote the letters.
Well, you're not the one that can fire her as a court-appointed counsel.
I don't want her near me. So therefore, in the uncivil state of West Virginia, do I have to get a restraining order against my public defender? Is that what I have to do to get rid of one?
If you tell the court you're going to do that, I'm pretty sure they will get you new counsel.
So that's what tell me in the United States and tell the Department of Justice watching me right now, in the uncivil state of West Virginia, if you don't want your attorney near you, in the United States of America, the uncivil state of West Virginia, is it a necessity requirement to go get a restraining order against your attorney because she is discriminating you, segregating you, things like that? Is that what has to be done in the United States of America, in the uncivil state of West Virginia? Tell us that.
Zach, you are unique. And
you're damn right. I don't go in there and bow down to their black dresses. I don't give a fuck about their black dresses. You know, education has destroyed our society.
You are not known to them as you are known up in Marion and Monongalia County.
Exactly. Why is it? How many other people is she doing that to in jail? For example, in jail there, Dana, 2 people couldn't even read and write, and they don't make them get competency evaluations. But me, that did 864 pages for Supreme Court. Oh, you need one. We need to lock you away for life.
First of all, to lock you away for life, I'm sure Barbara is not trying to lock you away for life.
She is. Read the transcripts.
I will read the transcript. She is wanting a determination as to whether you understand your rights and everything else.
And who the fuck? Why have you not done that to other people? Why has that bitch not done it to other people? Tell me in America why she's not doing it to other people. Tell us that.
I'm sure I know as a criminal practitioner myself about every so often you come across a client whom you want evaluated.
Yeah, America, but ones that cannot read and write that she represents, they don't need evaluations.
They do not, because more often than not, they are quite capable of communicating with their attorney.
He said communicating. They can't even read and write. How are they going to write letters? You see what WVU has done to this man, America? He's saying that people can communicate that can't even read and write. Are you seeing what education does to the humans?
Am I on a recording or something, Zach?
Absolutely. I'm going to go public with this kind of stuff here. Please continue the conversation with me as to why a person that can't even read...
we're ending this conversation.
Oh, he's scared, America. He runs now.
I thought we had a tacit agreement that if you called me, I would talk to you.
Well, I want to continue the conversation. Are you going to continue writing checks to the woman who I don't even want near me?
As I've explained, I don't write checks to her. I write grants to her Public Defender Corporation.
Are you going to continue doing this when read the court documents on the case number where I sent in papers that I didn't want her near me? I wanted a new one. They are to follow the court rules of Kanawha County where they are to appoint me a private attorney.
Our conversation is ended. Do not call me if you ever intend to record or publish it again.
The last thing I would like to say, though, is I walk into the Walmart stores. I'm not afraid to be on camera because I'm not stealing things. You are writing illegal grants to a person that isn't even defending a person that doesn't want them near them.
That is solely your your opinion.
It's not an opinion, it's factual things. Are you calling court documents lies? In fear and run, America. See what the cameras do to these fools? From the WVU compound. It's absolutely sickening. Education has indoctrinated these humans. Fuck education. Do not send your kids there, America. Earth. Send your kids to, like, welding school, plumbing school. You know, you need school for plumbing. But electrician school, something like that, where they're going to actually learn something and do something good for society, not destroy and harm the American citizens. I'm going to, watch this, I'm going to call back that and actually talk to the, Human Resource Department. We find it here. This is so entertaining to bring this all to your attentions.
You have reached Public Defender Services, a state agency. If you are trying to reach your...
Remember, you got state agencies of the state of West Virginia putting innocent girls back with their dads to be raped and impregnated. You got Public Defender Services writing illegal grants to people that are not even representing you that you don't want.
Hold for an operator. Thank you.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Now I can call the state police and call them back and let them know that they're illegally writing state funds out of his paycheck towards a woman that's not even working.
You have reached Public Defender Services, a state agency. If you are trying to reach your appointed public defender for Kanawha County, you need to end this call and dial 304-348-2323. Public Defender Services office hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now or hold for an operator. Thank you.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Yeah, America, I don't have competency and understand anything. No. You absolutely see that, don't you? That I have dementia, remember nothing. I'm straight up retarded, yeah, as they diagnosed me with. These are absolute idiots here. You catch them in lies constantly with these cameras. Hello? Hello? Rotary phone wasn't working at their office. Down in Charleston, West Virginia, America, they have horses tied up in front of these attorneys' offices. They're carrying paper bags to work with their lunches in it. These are absolute uncivil humans. Vote for me for governor. This shit is going to come to an end right here. If other people catch them in these acts right here, termination to all when I take office. Oh, they're a shame and fear now, probably.
Public Defender Services, a state agency.
Dana ran down and said, "Oh, don't you talk to him." I looked like an absolute idiot on the phone.
304-348-2323. Public Defender Services office hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now or hold for an operator. Thank you.
Wait while I transfer your call.
If they don't answer this time around, I'll have to randomly push some buttons. Okay, I'll call back and try to make some connection with pushing a bunch of buttons.
Public Defender Services, a state agency.
I did not recognize that as a valid... I did not recognize that as a... I did not recognize that as a... I did not recognize that as a... I did not recognize that as a valid entry. I did not recognize that as a valid...
Nothing. It's like playing the lottery. 8569 pound or 569. They don't even say hello. I mean, what's up with that? You're seeing who needs diagnosed with being retarded.
If you are trying to reach your appointed public...
You're seeing who needs diagnosed.
That is a valid entry.
Well, it worked beforehand.
You have reached Public Defender Services, a state agency. If you are trying to reach your...
I do not recognize that as a valid... I do not recognize that as a valid entry. I do not recognize that as a valid entry. I do not recognize that as a valid entry.
You have reached...
I do not recognize that as a valid entry. I did enter. Invalid. Enter your PIN followed by pound. Invalid entry.
Well,
Enter your ID.
Try one more time.
You have reached Public Defender Services, a state agency. If you are trying to reach your...
I do not recognize that as a valid... Wait while I transfer your call.
0 pound. DHHR, please.
DHHR?
Oh, no, I said it wrong. The Human Resource Department that actually issues the checks. I want to see how much they paid my attorney.
Hey, Zach, as I explained to you, we don't pay her because she works for a public defender corporation.
Explain the pay system to me.
The corporation.
Explain that.
You need to call her offices.
Will you explain the pay system to me? Like, write grants. Where do the grants come from? Like, taxpayers' money? Is that what it means?
They do. They do. We write a funding contract with the 18 public defender corporations in the state, and they operate in 19 of the 31 judicial circuits.
Okay, well...
Now, if it was a private attorney who was court-appointed, we would pay them directly.
They're supposed to appoint me a private attorney. They have not followed the rules of Kanawha County Courthouse because of what she did was completely erratic and barbaric.
Well, that's your opinion, Zach.
It's not an opinion. It's factual things. She's never seen me, talk to me a day in my life. She doesn't need to run up in my face, not follow court procedures. That I signed a line that I wanted my preliminary hearing. She wrongfully turned in the motion for competency. She turned it in late, past what the court rules says. She can't even follow court rules, and you have her employed. It says no prelims shall be canceled unless you have been indicted, which America, I never was indicted, and that or an information has been turned in to the court before the date of the prelim. Nothing was turned in, so I will not play these games. You know, I get sick and tired of me being smarter than everybody else, and I'm not supposed to.
Well, first of all, you're not smarter than everybody else, Zach.
Well, apparently I am. I can go in there and know those rules, and these people here get paid for doing nothing to service me. I'm servicing myself more, and you're going to be writing me a paycheck. How is that? For real. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that you can get paid for defending yourself. I'm putting in my own motions, everything on this.
That's not the case. The Supreme Court ruled that you can have your expenses paid, not that you get paid.
Expenses, okay. Well then, so you're telling me all my... So wait, well let's cap this one. I learned from Carl Miller how he gets paid for representing himself. All my expenses, the hours of my life I put into this, the paper copies, the gas copies, the phone bills, the fax bills.
No, this would be expert witnesses, transcripts, and other expenses related to the criminal proceeding.
Okay, and that's all. So you, but Carl Miller, he explains it in more depth. He's an old man that's been caught 12 times driving without a driver's license. My children, if I ever have any, will not get their driver's license. They will follow Carl Miller, how he's beat it 12 times with no driver's license,
That's
and
your,
Michigan
that's
just
your
leaves him.
choice, Zach. That's your
Yeah, if
choice.
I knew that now, as big as a rebel as I am against the state of West Virginia, with their, I'm a crusader trying to stop this illegal activity where they're stealing millions of dollars a month, sacrificing human lives. Read it on Facebook. You can see it all right now if you never believed me before.
Zach, I will read it, but you and I have totally different views of the system. I believe in the system. I believe in the way it operates, and I think that, unfortunately, your encounters with it have been a little out of the ordinary. But
out of the ordinary, how they have the father of the drug lord as federal judge, who's doing a lot of unethical behavior that will be announced soon on my channel with the expert, telling it all. What?
Who is the father of the drug lord?
Are you telling me you don't know about that? Judge Alloy in federal court. All his unethical behavior and actions will be announced soon. Like, he dismissed my case and the state of West Virginia didn't even receive it. He didn't issue, the only little thing I know is he didn't issue a summons. However, that part works. I'm not an expert there, still learning. And he did not,
well,
he did
Judge
the thing.
Alloy, first of all, is a magistrate, I think. I don't think he's a district court
Yeah,
judge.
but he was an accomplice of Marion County. He should never have been a judge. Like, the dirty, rotten judge is from Marion County, and he was an accomplice in this county, having secretive meetings with the dirty, rotten judge, David R. James, and those kind of things, having lunch together, drinking beers together, on recesses in court, things like that.
Just so you know, I am acquainted with both, and I don't share your same opinion.
Well, maybe if anything, Judge Alloy and the dirty rotten judge were snorting opioids up their nose that his daughter was dealing. Did you not know about Judge Alloy's daughter being a drug dealer?
I do not know about that. No.
She was busted, her and her boyfriend, trafficking in illegal substances into the state of West Virginia, hundreds of pills, and she didn't get 1 day in jail. But the boyfriend got jail time, and because daddy wears a black dress, he can write up something, As far as I'm concerned, the big-time drug dealers do the state of West Virginia a favor. They are like exterminators, killing off the trashy people. But they get punished, for doing what they do. But a judge out here persecuting other people for something that he can't spank his own daughter's ass for should not be a judge. That's unethical. And did you know that we have a sex-offending judge in the state of West Virginia, a pedophile? Did you know about that one? His name is Judge Thomas A. Bedell. He was indicted for child pornography. I was on my way to get that one, and the worthless Office of Disciplinary Council member who betrayed me, I thought she was my best friend there, Rachel Cipollati probably forced her to push charges on me because she didn't want to be in the courtroom. They won't even release this email because there's absolutely nothing offensive in it. It should not be called retaliation against a public official. It should be called humiliation against a public official. And Judge James right now, if you think that he's one you should honor because he has a black dress on, he has restricted me from speaking in public, restricted me from having a personal conversation with anybody in a public facility, restricted me from walking in the public courthouse because I'm hurting his personal and judicial character. Is that something a judge can do in the United States of America? Tell a person they can't speak in public, can't be in public? Is that...
that sounds extraordinary. That sounds like there might be some constitutional issues, but I don't know the circumstances, so I can't.
That's just kind of funny the way you said it. Some constitutional things. These judges, what they suffer from, who needs competency, Dana? Now that you know the truth of things, those records are going to be exposed today on my Facebook. Please subscribe to it. But who needs competency? Evaluations of the way the law works and the way the United States works, the law of the land. The Constitution is the founder of all laws and overrules all of them. Who needs competency? Judges sitting there plotting on stealing records? Judges thinking they can tell people that they can't enter public, judges telling people they can't speak in public. Who needs competency? Judge James, he is obviously slipping over the edge with dementia and Alzheimer's, bald, and losing his manhood with erectile dysfunction and all that going on, we know of probably, with his age and deterioration. You know, who needs competency? Can you please confirm that one?
Well, everyone needs to be competent. You're correct, but I don't.
Do you feel that this man? Do you feel that this?
Described.
Do you what? Say that again. Do you what?
I don't believe that competency is necessarily determined in the manner that you've described.
What do you call that radical judge behavior right there if they don't need a competency evaluation to understand this book right here in front of me that Joe Manchin, who issued his daughter a free degree, sent me? He sent me the United States Constitution. I had to raise hell to get it from him, but he did his job and sent it to me. But do you think I could call up Joe Manchin and get me a free degree to be an attorney, since he had the authorities to issue his daughter a degree to get $1 million a year plus pay? Is there a way I could...
No, I don't believe he could.
But how can he do it for his little baby? That's like, you know, changing her diaper at age 20-some years old, forcing people to give her a degree.
Yeah, I believe it was the university that made the decision.
So the commander of West Virginia, the commander of this colony, this radical colony, didn't have anything to do with it, you're telling me. The governor of West Virginia had nothing to do.
I'm sure the matter of influence was involved. But,
you know what's sad is he's in Washington, D.C. right now, retaliating against the President of the United States of America, who's the best one ever. You know.
Well, we certainly disagree on a lot of things, so...
and then the public service commissions...
That's the great thing, Zach, is that you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, and we can still live in harmony.
Do you find it opinion that me and... Do you find it an opinion that me and Trump are living different lifestyles? You know, we're not. He was a landlord. I was a landlord. There's a collusion there, collusion here against us. Radical Democrats, radical judges here. You know, it's all...
I am one of those probably radical Democrats, but go ahead.
Okay, so are you going to... So that means that you were part of the KKK?
I was not.
And, well, you're part of this radical colony of... state police. Can you call up the state police? Jeff Freeman needs arrested for kidnapping. He told on himself to the jury. Do you remember that conversation we had about how he told the jury there was no evidence and that I should not go to prison? He held me hostage, kidnapped for 14 months. Do you remember that?
I don't recall that now.
Okay, well, that's what he told the jury, where I was arrested the day before West Virginia had to respond to the lawsuit in 2016. By the Fairmont Federal Credit Union's daughter, that the dirty, rotten judge and Patty Wilson of Marion County had her moved into my apartment in this collusion operation. You know, I was stupid enough to let her move in, and she had me arrested for the same charges Daddy's Bank did. The day before West Virginia had to respond to that jail injury lawsuit, but the sex offending judge, Thomas A. Bedell, he dismissed my case. I was in jail trying to defend myself. I'm already working on Supreme Court papers right now for this stuff, but what advice can you call the state police, the ones dressed in green poop outfits, who are the radical colony of West Virginia, not doing anything to serve and protect the American people? All these judges should be arrested on 18 U.S.C. 242, deprivation of rights under color of law.
Yeah, I don't know why you think that I, who is part of this colony and part of this administration and part of this process, is going to be particularly excited to do something of that nature.
Of course you would be, because, you know, you being the director of all their pays, that's an influential thing. Like this morning, the city police of Fairmont threatened to arrest me once I was going to do a write-up on him and appeal at the magistrate and let we the people vote whether to fire him or not. He said, oh, that's it, that's harassment, I'm going to turn you in and get a warrant for your arrest. That's what they do all the time, is turn to harassing and threatening. And they never have proof of anything. But the point is, you could be famous for this one. Don't you have morals? Didn't your dad, like, whip your ass when you were doing wrong? And as a kid, that's what mine did to me. You know, don't you have morals?
I believe I have morals. I just believe that probably my morals are slightly different than yours.
So you don't have... You think it's perfectly justifiable and right to be stealing medical records and putting a person away for life for nothing? Is that perfectly right?
I don't believe either of those things was the intent. So
It's what it says. It is what the intent is. She admits to not wanting to do it. She knows what she is doing is wrong. They're plotting what doctors to pay in the state of West Virginia. The doctors' names are all listed in there. They will pay them. I've done more than them. Show me any of those punk-ass doctors that's owned 6 houses. 7 houses are in my name. 7 houses. I want to see the doctors that's had that many. I want to see the doctors that have steered multi-billion-dollar ships. I want to see the doctors that have traveled the earth like I have on ships. I want to see these people that have achieved these things. I want to see these people that made $6,793 and tapping the mouse twice on E-Trade. You know, I was a day trader for a while. None of these humans have done anything like this, and I'm ridiculed, called incompetent, and look at my life achievements, you know. Are you following me on that?
I'm not.
These people are out there living in trailers.
Zach, I am not saying you're incompetent, but there's a process to be followed, and if the attorney and our ethical obligation...
Why am I the only... I want to know, okay, something, since you issue paychecks, right now we got a good conversation I thought of. I want to see all the other people that... I want to see every client, what's the ratio she's made go through this bullshit political abuse of psychiatry stuff. How many has she done that to, since you know all about that, supporting her to sacrifice humans?
I do not. That is within the corporation. I do not know that.
You're writing checks for these people, and they could be buying coke, could be buying meth with it?
Listen to a word I said. I am not paying her. I am funding a grant to her corporation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What are they buying with this grant money? What are they buying? That's a good question.
Attorneys, and like I said, you seem to be at odds with Barbra Brown, but I know of hundreds of clients that are perfectly happy with her.
Well, I don't want her near me. It's already been established, and you're still... How much money have you gave her out in my name? So I can call her right now and see how much money she's paid herself out of your money that she's stealing because I didn't want her near me. I yelled at her, told her to get away.
I have no doubt you yelled at her.
You know, I don't go in there and bow down to their black dresses.
I know her to be an ethical attorney, and I know that...
Oh, okay, wait, you know her too, but you're going to read the documentation.
For your best interest.
Say that one more time.
I said, however misguided she may be or however wrong she may be in her assessment, nonetheless, she's doing it out of a concern for your rights and interests.
Oh, yeah, that's pathetic statement you made right there to me. That is very pathetic, saying for my rights. She's trying to take away my rights with political abuse of psychiatry. They've already got plotted who they're going to pay to fail me. They've already plotting all this shit, and you're saying she's trying to help me with my rights. Crock of shit. She's violating my rights.
We diverge because I do not believe she's plotting against you.
Can you read and write, Dana? The transcripts are right there, who they are picking out. He's there for us, or he's always there, or whatever. Who they're using in this political abuse of psychiatry communist behaviors in the United States of America. How are you saying she's defending my rights when she's trying to take away my rights, forcing me to swallow Patrick Morrisey's wife's dope that she sells to the state hospital, forcing me to lose my rights, forcing me into the Holocaust camp of the state of West Virginia, where they steal federal funds and have no medical records available for anything?
Yeah. Hey, Zach, do you have anything else to add to this conversation?
Can you call the state police and start speaking them? So you will not...
I will not call the state police.
You're not going to help justice out.
I help justice out every day in my way, and whether you agree with it or not, or you assess it differently than I do, that is what I do.
How do you consider it?
State police. I am not going to do anything with respect to Barbra Brown. I will allow the court and the corporation to handle it.
Do you consider it illegal pay when I don't even want her working for me? If, like, first, check this out. Here's a Okay, hypothetically speaking, let me think of it here for a second. Okay, if my dad is taking money out of my account and paying some construction company to do something at my own house, and I don't want those people near there, and they're not doing anything on my house, and he's taking my money from my account and paying them, is that considered stealing when I didn't want them there? They're not doing anything. Is that considered my dad stealing from my account? Yes or no on that?
Not even comparable.
What do you mean not even? I'm asking you that scenario right there. Is that yes or no to that one there?
I'm not going to answer that scenario because it has no relevance to what we're talking about.
I relate everything hypothetical so that educated people can understand it. I practice this on a routine basis, so that would be stealing.
Well,
I know that your
practice
answer.
it on a routine basis. It has no
She
relevance
is
whatsoever.
taking
We're
money
talking about
from
two
me.
entirely different things.
She is taking money that you are issuing her. She has not done anything for me. She has not done. I don't want her near me. She's not done anything for me, and she is getting paid. Is that legal?
You have the absolute right, in my opinion, to ask the court to appoint you other counsel.
I already did, and said what she did was wrong. She never met me a day in my life. That's like saying, "Oh, you're black. You can't come in this courthouse." It's the same
It's not
thing.
even close to being the same.
They're judging me on newspaper articles. Period.
They are judging you, and they are trying to establish a factual basis for whether they
So it's
should have
factual.
concern
It's
or
factual. A
not.
man's black, and another man robbed the store that was black. So that means all black people did it. So that means all black people did it.
Competency. I suspect if your conversation with the judge, when as this conversation is going, that the judge probably reached a determination that perhaps you are not able to appropriately assess your situation. But now, I may disagree with her. I may have.
It could not even be in her courtroom. We could not even be in her courtroom. Do you understand that court rule in the state of West Virginia?
No, Jack, I can't understand it. I can't understand anything you're saying.
I never went to a preliminary hearing. I should not have even been in circuit court. It was completely illegal. You're talking to the Department of Justice. They're going to be listening to this conversation. It was not even permitted
Have
to...
them call me. I'd be happy to talk to him.
It would not even be permitted... It's not even permitted to be in her courthouse. I had never been through a preliminary hearing that I signed the civil rights page that I wanted, and they violated my civil rights.
Then have them call me.
Call who? Call you? The Department of Justice? And
Sure.
are you going to try to change your statements if you made on here how she's trying to help me with my rights, but trying to violate all my rights and violate the rest of my life, putting me away for life, how she's plotting on stealing federal funds of the United States of America?
That I will say the exact same thing to whomever asks.
The department, the medical bills are out there. The state computer's screenshotted on my Facebook page that you can see the federal funds, see the letters from WVU, see the letters from the state of West Virginia, and see the federal and state laws that say all records used in progress notes shall be kept. They have not even displayed evidence anywhere of anything I'm doing. 3.8a, a prosecutor shall have evidence in order to press charges on somebody. Probable cause. There is no evidence for anything. That's a different issue. And yes, they continued that. They continue all this shit because there's no evidence to nothing.
So what is it that you think you should have had a preliminary hearing on?
To show the evidence. That's what a preliminary hearing is.
Evidence
Break it
of
out.
What? Of what charge?
Retaliation against a public official. They won't even release the email because there's nothing in it.
Very well.
There's nothing in it, but you know, it's a total joke from the state of West Virginia.
That I am not going to do anything.
But what I did, Dana, the reason they arrested me on this one right here, I will tell you right now in the Department of Justice why they arrested me. The father of the drug lord, Judge Alloy. I filed that case there on the 13th. 6 days later, the devil's number, they did a criminal complaint on me because 10 days later was the Supreme Court brief due. The Supreme Court brief was due within 10 days, and they thought they could arrest me and that I would not make it in. There is no way you're accidentally arrested 4 times this year before a deadline from 1 day to 10 days of the biggest case in the history of the state of West Virginia. And 2 times, 2 charges were placed on me an hour and 47 minutes after it got back to the Supreme Court. After the Supreme Court scheduling order got back to the circuit court where the false imprisonment started, an hour and 47 minutes later I was arrested on 2 charges. Senior bank defender of WVU medicine and the Marion County criminal charge, which was total bullshit, no evidence, nothing, was pressed on me. And how is this a good thing in the state of West Virginia that Marion County, where the false imprisonment started, gives me an attorney, gives me a PR bond, but where WVU Medicine's stealing the millions of dollars in Medicaid fraud, puts a $7,500 bail on me for a misdemeanor and gives me no attorney. The same state, two different counties, the same day, two different judgments like that right there. The one that is erratic is the county where all the Medicaid fraud's going on. Is that a good thing that two counties on the same exact day on the same person can rule different things to that extremity?
I can issue no judgment on it without knowing exactly the circumstances.
The circumstances is I was arrested the same day for the two counties where the false imprisonment started, the medical malpractice breach of standard of care started. The two counties that are doing all the corrupt, illegal things, you have Judge Janes, who's losing memory, not remembering anything of how to practice law, illegally closed my case. There has never been a disposition of the indictment. The case is still pending 9 years later. Is that healthy?
Again, without knowing all the circumstances,
Is that legal?
I'm not going to issue.
Circumstances, I just said it. Read the final order. There has never been a disposition of the indictment. And Rachel Cipollati, who fires people, didn't even know what that term meant, and she's been to the WVU compound. Who is more competent? Me, knowing what the word disposition of an indictment means, or her, who's been to the WVU compound, fires attorneys, doesn't even know what that means? Who's a little bit more competent?
First of all, I'm sure you're both equally competent in your particular areas of interest.
That's a basic thing that a preschooler should know, that there's an ending of making a cake. A cake comes out of the oven.
You probably know more about driving ships than I would ever know. Does that make me incompetent?
Well, you know, it doesn't mean you know that when a person's driving a ship, they shouldn't intentionally crash into an oil rig. They shouldn't intentionally do things like wrong. She should know.
Anything else? I really have to get on.
Okay, the last thing I will say about that, I met this girl.
Anything to add?
Yes, I do. Last thing is, I met this girl at Big Lots. She is a cashier, but she's going to be a paralegal, and she knew what that term meant, and she was a freshman in college and knew this. But
sure
Rachel, who punishes people, graduated from the compound, didn't even know what that meant. I got the email screenshotted that will be at the end of this video to show how that freshman who has not been indoctrinated through all the bullshit Z squared Y equals 2x classes knew what it was, but the indoctrinated compound graduate did not know what it was, and how damaging education is to the human brain.
If you are underestimating the intelligence and competency of Rachel Cipollati, you are not smart.
Well, I'm just telling. I'm not. She sent the email of stupidity to me, not knowing what it meant. I don't understand that. And I sent it back 1, 2, 3.
Some people don't practice criminal law. Some people don't practice civil law.
It doesn't matter.
The attorneys involved don't necessarily know everything. I wonder how many attorneys know what the rule against perpetuities is.
The word disposition exists in everything. There has to be the ending. You know, there has to be an ending to something. That exists in all cases
Except
that
for
ever.
this phone call.
Huh?
Except for this phone call. There seems to be no ending to it.
Well, I like having these arguments. You can imagine me being a good attorney, couldn't you?
I can't.
So are you gonna so I can confirm this? Are you gonna hang up and call courthouses right now and police right now and make up stories about me, or order the courts to do wrongful things to me?
I am not.
Do newspaper articles work as evidence that a person needs competency evaluation that have all kinds of fake reports in them?
I'd have to see the article.
Yeah, it's a court case. It's all a bunch of fucking lies. I already filed that case right there against them.
Alright.
It's an open case. It's pending right now, you know, because they should never be posting false records.
I have to move on to my next appointment. So.
Alright, well, I hope you're telling the truth, that you're not going to call and command. And how do I find out her paycheck? What she's paid herself for doing nothing for me? How do I find that out?
You need to Google the Kanawaha County Public Defender's Office.
Okay, and then ask them how much illegal money they've paid her, that she didn't do anything for me. They're destroying court documents in Kanawaha County also. That's a factual thing. I got conversations recorded where they're doing it.
Alright.
Okay, well, you have a good day. I'm going to the circus down there called the courthouse.
Alright, bye.
You do anything, it's recorded. If you do anything with these people, like making phone calls, he probably did after this one, but I don't care, America. I'm going public with it all right now. And the emails, I'm going to make them pop up the pictures at the end of this one.